Ooh. Okay, good morning, everybody. Say good morning.
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 Good morning.
Good morning. Say hi, Pay. Nolan, can you say hi?
Nolan, say
I
hi.
dropped the phone. No.
Oh, no. Okay, okay. Nolan is just waking up. Aaron and I are hopping on a call with,
Nolan's teacher.
yep, Nolan works with a speech therapist and basically a behavioral therapist. Is that what we would call Kirsten?
I think she's technically like an occupational therapist.
Oh, sure.
but-
Okay. Yeah, occupational therapist.
Oh.
So we're working, we're gonna speak to her today.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was
We've had some developments with Nolan over the last couple months, and we're just trying to figure it out. He's so young, so we're kind of all the way on one end of the spectrum is just that he has a speech delay and he gets frustrated. To on the other end of the spectrum, he possibly could have autism. And so we are just trying to kind of work with the people that we need to work with. We'll be officially getting him assessed in about 4 to 6 months, probably. I don't know, anything else to add about that?
really kind of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if he is on the, if it is the autism thing, you know, autism is a spectrum, and we think he would be super low on the spectrum. I don't know. He just, it's really just the speech and the speech delay and the
Tantrums.
I mean, he's pretty
That are the
social.
most
He makes good
concerning.
yeah, he's social. He makes good eye contact. You know, the things that you typically associate with like an autistic person are not things that are concerning to us. So it's we really just don't know. We're kind of just doing it because the speech therapy alone seems to not be yielding results.
So he basically started speech therapy, and then shortly thereafter he started going to daycare, which he had never been to daycare in his whole life. So really his only social interaction was with Peyton, essentially, during the day. Him and Peyton stayed home. We had a nanny who we miss terribly here at our house, and we never really noticed it until he was probably like 1.5 years, and I was like, man, we never hear him talk, like ever. Like no baby babble or anything like that. So that's when it is we started to get a little bit concerned. So then in July of this year, we started speech therapy. Then he turned 2 in August. And then in September, he started daycare. And within the first month of daycare, we noticed, oh my gosh, he's using more language. He's more social. He was playing more with his sisters. He was interested in more people, like when we went to the park. Yummy. And so those were all super positive things. And then we felt like we kind of hit a wall. And probably for the last month or so, 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we haven't really made any progress with additional language. And then the tantrum started to get really violent. And so,
I mean, violent is a strong word. I mean, he started like throwing stuff.
aggressive.
I mean,
his tantrums
sure.
were aggressive, not only towards himself, but also towards other people. He would throw things at people. He tried to pick up a chair and throw it at one of his teachers at daycare. So, I mean, that was concerning. So we're just taking the steps. We're having a meeting with the occupational therapist today in literally 5 minutes to just discuss a plan and maybe if there's different avenues that we need to be exploring, such as child psychology or something. I don't know. That's why we're having meetings. So I will say that we moved him up rooms at daycare to be more with people his age group. Because of his language delay, we started him in a lower group with kids that were younger than him, and that's where he was having a lot more tantrums. And it seems like both at school and at home, since we moved him up, his tantrums have been less frequent and also not as long lasting.
Yeah.
So that's a positive thing. So that's where it makes me think, okay, maybe he is just really frustrated that he can't communicate with us. And his receptive language, so like when we tell him, give him direction, or ask him to go get something, or put that down, or Nolan, come here, or, you know, things like that, he listens to that. That's all good.
Yeah, he just really, like, the benchmark at this age is they should have 50 words or word approximations, you know, even if you can't understand what they're saying, and he's got like 10.
And that even includes like animal noises, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's basically connecting your brain to a vocalization of some kind. And yeah, he has about 10, which when we started speech therapy in July, he had 1. So he's made progress for sure. And some kids don't start talking until 3. Like, that's just how it is. He's also a boy. Boys tend to talk later. I mean, Lincoln was a really early talker, like talking in full sentences, clear sentences when she was 2 years old. And so, and then Peyton, because that was our experience with Lincoln, Peyton had a very normal development, and we were actually worried, looking back, it was very normal, but we were actually worried that she wasn't as far along as Lincoln was at that age. So we started to explore speech delay for her, and all the teachers and things were like, no, she has plenty of words, she's doing great. So then when Nolan was even more severe than that, we were like, what's going on? So that's how we jumped on it so early. I feel like if Nolan was our first baby, we would be like, he's just not talking, which is fine. So yeah, so over time we'll know more, especially over probably the next 6 months. We'll know a lot more. So that's a little bit on Nolan. Yeah, a little bit of the backstory of kind of what we are just discovering and trying to get some answers on, just to make sure that he can be the happiest little man that he can be.
Hi.
Hey, what are we doing?
We're playing at the park.
We are playing at the park. We were, at least. It was all 3 of us, but now it's just you and me. Huh. Well, playing at the park. It's a pretty chilly day, but we're trying to get everyone over here. We've had a little Is everyone done, or? Probably. It's all wet and stuff. I'll just come on home. Fail, park fail. See, he always knows to go.
Noli, can I see? Wow, new jacket.
It kind of like stuffy.
One of my best friends, Amy, has a little boy, Malcolm, who's just a little bit older than Nolan. And she just sent us a bunch of clothes. Which, that's what girlfriends are for, right? Thanks, Aim. That was so sweet of you. But Noli was very excited about the new coat. What do you see, Babas?
Oh, it's that sticker off your jacket. Let him.
Oh, you can take it. That's fine.
Just let him.
Pay.
Can you do it? You want help?
So, we tried to go to the park. It was unsuccessful. It's cold and wet. So now we're back inside. Probably get some lunch going here, and then I'm actually going to get a facial, hydrofacial, here in a little bit, which will be super fun. Okay, so I just got back a little bit ago from my hydrofacial. It was so delicious. I like don't want to touch my skin or do anything, so I might look a little bit red. But I also wanted to give a little update of kind of what our findings were with Nolan's appointment. So we just talked to one of his therapists. Her name is Kirsten. She's super helpful and kind, and it really comes down to you know, our life is really chaotic. I'm not making excuses. I'm just like merely stating facts that our life is really chaotic. We have a ton going on, especially when all 5 of us are home. So it's hard to take time to spend with Nolan individually. As you get to know our kids, you will learn that Lincoln requires a lot of attention, and Peyton is starting to be that way. And Nolan really doesn't. He's a really easy boy. So it's really about us. This is what we talked about today. We are going to take the next 2 weeks and just really find things that Nolan really enjoys. whether that's blowing bubbles or singing songs or dancing or playing with blocks or whatever that is. And we're gonna make lists of what he enjoys, and that's where we're gonna start to really connect with him while we do those things. And then the hope is that from there, his language will start to develop more. So we know for sure that he has a speech delay, 100% speech delay. So like we're always working on that. And then we're always working on some of the other, what could be autistic red flags, such as he plays independently a lot, such as aggressive tantrums, such as, let's see, what else? He doesn't like to transition, like even going from downstairs to upstairs or going from outside to inside. If he's not ready to do that, he will let you know. Things like that. So those can all be autism red flags. They can also be frustrations that he doesn't know how to communicate, and they can also be that he's just 2 and he's defiant. So we're just really working things out, just to try to make things more clear. So there are days where I am like, no way is my son on the spectrum, no way. Then there are days where I'm like, he is 100% on the spectrum. And either way is okay. I'm not saying that one is better or worse than the other. I am just saying it's confusing to us because we just don't know at this point. But only time will tell. So we are taking steps, and we're gonna really work on little things at a time. Right now we're really working on connectivity and seeing what is actually grabbing his attention span. So that's a little update on Nolan. Nolan and Peyton are both napping, and Lincoln is taking a little bit of quiet time. And Aaron actually had to go into work for a little bit. He is selling a car, and then he's gonna actually bring home dinner tonight, because when it's Wednesday, we usually don't cook on Wednesdays. So I am so shiny from my hydrofacial. I'm usually not this shiny, but yes, if you haven't gotten a hydrofacial, you should. I feel very like clean. It basically like sucks everything out of your skin and then like puts water back into it and exfoliates, and they did a peel and just felt really, really nice. So a little self-care today too, which is always fun.